And away they go. Vold, the first to show on the very first stroke. He got away well. James Russell, intent on getting to the front group.
All four boats in the center have got away together. Romalio, Burkett, Pedersen.
Vold still leads with that colourful nose boat. Going across to them is Kippin in the lime green, not lime green, mint green. He's going to make it to the side of Vold. He's been looking good all week. And Pedersen now takes it on.
Mads Pedersen goes straight to the front.
Romalo in the cap tries to go around Burkett. Burkett is not having any of that.
And the other Dane, Johan Wedel, is desperate to try and reconnect with his countryman at the front by taking a sharp...
Burkett taking out, going round to Romalo. That's not helpful to anyone. Romalo still pressing on. Has he given up the chase yet? Yes. Burkett settles for the V. I know could have settled for that sooner. Russell just at the back of that group. So Vold, we got Kippin in the green, Alonso in the black boat with a red tip just in front of him. Jokos at the back of that group. Pelly in the yellow boat, top of screen. Pedersen from Romalo, from Vold, from Pelly. You get some idea of how fast they're travelling by how far back those boats sit on the wave. Russell tucked in the back of that group. Great start from Kippin. Burkett tucked in the V and reasonably well protected. Got France in there as well. Genies, I think. Faria from Portugal, second right. Foley on the left, hoping to make some impact at the front of the group. And I think he might be taking the lead, Foley. There's a group kind of migrating over towards Ronan Foley, but he's slowed down now. And it could be Romalo has been squeezed to the front. Great job from Foley. Start mixing it closer to the front. On the left is Hungary's Selye with a kind of headband on. There's everything to play for still in that group. So trying to get a... It still looks like Pedersen, Romalo, Alonso to the right of Pedersen, Foley to the left of Romalo. Oh no, it's Vold, sorry, to the right of Pedersen. Outside him, Kippin. Outside him, Alonso. Faria just behind Alonso. Behind Pedersen is Burkett. Behind Burkett, James Russell from Great Britain. To his right, South Africa, Lovemore wearing 363 on his back. France, Genies, also up there. A massive group, and it seems that Pedersen more than happy to do his share up there. Kippin still there in the mint green. Genies in the red boat. Romalo in the backwards cap. Selye, Hungarian, in the white boat. Pelly, the Hungarian, in the yellow boat. To his left, Spain 2, that's Prada from Spain. Burkitt having a lovely, easy ride round so far. Group getting strung out just a little. This tells you how fast they're going. I think right at the back of that group is Paufler, Jokos from Japan, Pavlik from Czech. They might be, look at that. Fantastic group. There's still a few gaps there to be filled in. Like puzzle pieces. The guys just catching up will fill in the empty holes at the back of that group. So Selye, Kippin, Pedersen, Romalo, Russell, Garakachea, Jokos, Faria. There's more in there than that. I missed a few. Vold in there too. That's some group to get round a turn. It will thin out, obviously. Whether it reforms the other side, we're yet to find out. This view would be brilliant if we get this all the way round the turn. It's going to be very, very tight. Everyone's safe so far. Just a bit of coming together at the back of the group now, but it's all smoothing round. Somebody just backed, hit that buoy, it bounced to the left. They're backing up now to go round the buoy. You're better off taking your 15-second penalty. At least you're with the group. That's 15-second penalty anyway, and now you're not with the group, so you're going to lose time. I think that's Paufler. And now it kicks off at the front. People running for whoever they think is going to be the leader. Burkitt covering Romalo, but it's going to be Vold, and it's the blue boat that got the best of that. I think I'm trying to tell you who that is. I can't quite see from here. It's the Argentinian. Got a nice, there he is right up the front. James Russell trying to force into a wave that he knows is only there temporarily till one of those boats fall back, but it's still worthwhile. On the far side goes Kippin. Russell, it's falling well for him. So it's Alonso, Kippin and Vold all fighting it out. Pedersen goes hard now. Romalo forced into going hard. It's a four-boat race. Kippin falls back. They're going for Alonso. Alonso trying to get to Pedersen. Romalo cuts Pedersen into the V. He'll fall back onto the Norwegian. Romalo still not happy. I thought he would go to Alonso. He hasn't. And it's going to be a fight between Pedersen and Burkitt. Pedersen takes that one. Burkitt moves over. Or maybe, is it Burkitt? Maybe not. No, I think it was Lovemore who had to move over for Pedersen. Burkitt's on the side of Romalo. Faria, the second Portuguese. That was quite stressful. A four-boat challenge for the front is never comfortable. Pedersen not having it all his own way so far. Romalo looking good at the moment. They're calling names for the... Ooh! Kippin and Selye. A bit of a coming together there. They both recovered. And again, Kippin trying to come across the front of Selye. It's going to be dangerous. Ooh! Thanks to Selye backing off, Kippin survived that. More action at the front. Two South Africans move to the front now. Romalo holds them off. Pedersen tucked in the V. Alonso to the right of Romalo. And it could be Burkitt leading. Pedersen retires to the V. Round comes Foley. Takes Lovemore into the V. Pedersen will have to move back onto. Can't see who he's moving on to. Looks like Vold there. Round the outside comes Sellier in the white boat. Vold fiddling with his drinks maybe. Paddles down for a second. And it's Burkitt. Foley done a great job to be there through all of that action. Alonso looking super cool on the outside. It's not Sellier on the outside, it's Faria of Portugal. Back comes James Russell. There's still spaces in that group. Tuck in to the left of that far side. That is Faria. I've been calling him Sellier for a bit. Oh, James Russell unlucky just to lose out to the Argentinian. It kicks off at the front again with Romalo stretching it out now. Burkitt not allowing him past until he feels safe enough to drop back. Foley ahead. And Romalo squeezes across to Foley. Burkitt drops into the V. Lovemore on the left of Foley. Faria still stuck on the outside. Doesn't seem particularly happy there, but he's run out of options for now. France at the back of the group. Falling back is Pelly, the closest to us in the black and yellow boat. Foley leading and leading well. I think it's Pelly and Sellier, the two Hungarians this side of the group. Genies in the red boat, trying to change his position, not sure where to. There doesn't seem to be anywhere to go from where he was. Just to change. He was behind Pedersen, which seems like a better option. He's going back there now. Through the reeds goes Faria. And the next set. Foley leads. Foley, Lovemore, Romalo, Burkitt, Alonso, Pelly, Pedersen, Vidal. They come round the bottom turn for the first time. And that last churn of speed really hurt the group with Russell and Kippin. They're back about 50 metres now. Foley round the turn and pushing on. Pelly struggling. On the outside, Faria struggling also. And at the back of the group, Genies may not make it back from this. So Foley really stretching this group out. He feels like he's done his turn. And who's going to take it on? It's South Africa with Lovemore. And it's well worth pressing on now. Foley feeling uncomfortable letting Romalo round his outside. He wants to stay on that front wash. Not convinced the V is safe yet. So Foley presses on. Just needs the group to settle before he'll fall back to the V. Somebody needs, and there it goes. It's going to be Burkitt. Oh, Burkitt's got a bunch of weed on the front of his boat. Just an acceleration and a boat bounce to get that weed off. There goes Lovemore. Now Foley feels safe to drop back onto Pedersen. Group settled. Pedersen round the outside. Alonso pressing up. Romalo holds him off until it's safe to drop back. Now it's safe to drop back and he can sit on the side of Alonso. There's your chasers out to the left. Here's Josh Kippin. I think Pedersen has just put in a big effort just as we left them. Going round the outside of the group. Off he goes. Just enough to get back into the front. Faria off the back of the group for now. Pelly out to the left. Genies of France, I think, out of contention. So they move away
Ladies
from
and
us.
gentlemen, we now turn our attention to the medal ceremony for the
And we're going to leave
K1
you, I
women.
think, for a medal ceremony, and we'll see what it looks like when we get back. Just coming round the corner, you can see the paddle splashes. That doesn't look like the front group to me. The front group must be appearing. This looks more like it. That's Pelly from Hungary. Garakachea. Lovemore, Romalo. Romalo leading by the look of it, with Burkitt behind him. Alonso to his right. Sellier behind Garakachea. Vold behind Lovemore. Pedersen tucked in the lead V behind Romalo. He's having a rest, and Foley just behind him. Right hand side of your group from Spain there also is Prada. He's on the far right. Just wondering if we've lost anyone from this group that was there last time we saw them. So 11 in that group. And the chase group. Not sure who's out to the right hand side there. That could be Sellier, the Hungarian. If it is, it's an ambitious move.
And it's an ambitious move to get right back to the front of that bunch.
They'll just wait for him to get close and then speed up. You watch Lovemore now, he'll just say no.
Whoa, paddles down.
Lovemore
Contact across
no.
the chest of Lovemore. Nicely handled by Lovemore.
Lovemore should have gone a bit earlier, really. It was a dangerous move. Contact like that can end badly sometimes. And Foley off the back of the group there now. Just struggling a little bit for speed. Sellier having another pop at it. Same method again. Lovemore either didn't see him soon enough or didn't take him seriously enough. And it ended up with a contact that was potentially unnecessary. That's the bow of Sellier's boat, so he hasn't made it back again.
Andy Burkitt's
He's having a go. The Argentinian Garakachea having a go on the outside. Sellier holds him off. Sellier now ahead of Lovemore. Lovemore gets squeezed back onto the V. Burkitt moves round to the side and tries. The Africans are a bit too happy to have contact, I think, in this one so far. Burkitt was going for a gap that was never going to be there. There's no way Garakachera in the blue boat was going to let him between him and Sellier. That's just a bit too ambitious, I think. And we're breaking it down now to 9 boats. It's Pelly and Foley who are off the back. Pelly's still in contact though. There's the bow of Foley's boat. Romalo, comfortable. Alonso just seems to get better and better, Alonso, at managing these races. Very rarely gets caught in the scraps. Vedel on the far side, maybe the surprise in the group to anyone who isn't Danish. Presumably the Danes know him a bit better than we do. But he does look like he's working hard. Romalo looking good. Foley, solid effort at the back there. There's a space behind Burkitt that looks like the best space if he can get back to it. But they're coming close to the Portage, and if Foley arrives in debt, it's going to be a tough run for him. Foley going up the side, there isn't anything there. Left of Vold looks a better option. Now he comes to the left of Vold. He's coming up behind the tail of Burkitt. It's going to fall well for him because Pelly's dropped back to the tail of Garakachea. And that's a nice move from Foley. It was an expensive move. Should have gone there first time. But here we come. We're at that bottom turn and it's all going to kick off now. We know how well drilled Pedersen is. Romalo also good though. Sellier on his left. Alonso rarely has a bad one. Vedel on the outside. First 3 coming left. Pedersen goes long on the right. Beautifully out from Romalo. Alonso. No real problems for anyone. Just a bit slow at the back. Alonso. Romalo. Sellier. And Pedersen. I can't believe they splashed our camera. Away goes Alonso. We haven't seen Alonso make a run for it for a long, long time. This is a new Alonso. Pedersen on his outside. It's still a long way back to him. Romalo with him. We haven't seen that level of intent from Eivind Alonso for a few years now. The South Africans trying to pick up the pieces at the back there. Vold also back there. Burkitt is going to be the one who closes. Can't believe they splashed our camera at the Portage there. Oh, that's James Russell. Looks like he took a swim, ended up on the landing stage. Bleak for James Russell. We missed it. Maybe there's a camera that had that. But the two groups very much separate up there. The South Africans both in the group to the left. Jokos runs through the Portage on his own. It's a big difference between this race and the Masters race that he won earlier in the week. We're looking at a slightly different class. I don't know if we could see that Portage where something must have happened to Russell to end up. And this is a three very happy campers here because they all know each other. They've all worked with each other before, and Pedersen is on a roll. This could be down to 3, and the South Africans are going to have to work very well together to close this down. I haven't seen Alonso do that for a long, long time. Pedersen hands over. Alonso goes again. Romalo happy just to follow. The group to their left contains both South Africans, I think, and the Hungarian Selye. I think we're looking at Sam Newlands there coming through. And along with Sam Newlands is Jacob Chain from Canada. There's the picture at the front. Looks like Burkitt has closed down on that group, joined the front 4, maybe with Selye. Lovemore, I think, is the South African at the back of the chase group of 3. And he looks like he's having a tough time staying with that group, let alone making it back to the front group. So front group of 5. Yep. More forward.
Lap 3 at this stage as the field heads to the top
No, that's okay.
of Lake
Just the
Jels.
second group we need to see. Yeah, they'll come through any minute. They're not far behind. No worries. Yeah.
Japan's Masaki Mori coming through the portage. Three boats at the front of the race if you have just joined us on the live stream. Mats Pedersen, Jose Romualdo and Ivan Alonso from an initial break of 10 and 11.
Oh, here we go. Yes, from now. From there. That's good from there. Yep. Okay, we're just going to have a replay of what happened in that second group to James Russell from Great Britain. Here he is, looking pretty assured there. We might not see him get on the water. It's unlucky. We tried to get a view of that and just missed it. So no problem. We'll take you back to the front of the race, which is reforming slowly, that front group. We gave it our best shot to get you a replay. So apologies for the break in communication. So Pedersen, Alonso, Romalo, they nearly made it.
Burkitt and Lovemore instrumental in bridging back.
I don't think Lovemore's there.
Burkitt is right at the front of that, yeah, you're right. Hamish is off.
He's at the back of that next group of 4. Significant moves in that group. I think that group of 4 will get back, but there's high cost to what's just happened. So maybe Alonso leading. Oh, it's all change. Group of 4 chasing on the outside.
Effectively cutting the corner.
So Burkett, I think, is leading.
Yeah, having just bridged onto that gap, he's pushed his way right to the front. He's probably
some more motivated than others in this group to stop the chase 4. You see Vold looking over his shoulder there. He's just interested, and now somebody has decided, it's Romalo, has decided he doesn't really want this to happen. He pushes on, only to the side of the Dane, Johan Vedel. In fact, it's probably Johan Vedel who feels the most vulnerable to that chase 4. Everyone else in this group we're accustomed to seeing there. Pelly in the black and yellow boat, off the back still. On the right, Lovemore just clinging on to Garakachea in the blue boat, and in the white boat is Foley leading that chase. It's a great chase back from Foley. That is solid work. He's going to have some heart rate. Lovemore still hasn't made contact. There's a place behind the black boat.
Yep.
Needs to get to Vold first and then up behind Pedersen. He's already at Vold now. Then he needs to move out behind Pedersen. There he goes. And now behind Pedersen, and he should be safe for a while. The whole group back together. Good chase from that 4. It looked like it was over for Lovemore at one stage.
Yeah, it's a good fight back onto that bunch.
And Vedel paddles down. He's done enough. And he's going to get caught. No, not quite. Alonso almost caught him. There goes Romalo. Vedel's going to get squeezed in by Burkett. Alonso falls back. And up comes Garakachea. No, Alonso's going to take up and go maybe around Foley. Squeeze Foley back into the V. Here he comes. Foley. I don't think Foley's going to have enough. Surely he can't have enough after all that. He has. So it's either Foley's a lot better than we thought he was, or a lot more desperate. It could go either way. Foley just needs a break in the clean water at the front there. So Romalo leads. Lovemore nicely positioned now. He can have a little rest also. Pedersen certainly not having this all his own way, that's for sure.
Foley slugging his way back into this one, bringing some of the form that he showed yesterday right back into it.
Cool.
Hey, how are you? Good, nice to see you.
Hello, Brian.
All right, easy. So we're getting celebrity guests into the commentary zone now as Alonso gets squeezed back behind Foley. So we're joined by the coach of Mads Pedersen, an old competitor of mine, one of the best there's ever been. As Foley takes the lead, we introduce you to Tor Nielsen, who joins us in commentary. Tor, how's your man doing?
It's looking good, but when I see all the other paddlers, it's looking good
all
too.
look good.
Yeah. So and you know how it is.
Yeah.
It's like everybody's watching everyone, and that's a. So we have to get a little bit further in the race before we can see some weakness in some of the competitors, because it's a hard game, from now on.
Well, they had it down to 3 with Romalo, your man, and Alonso. Did you have a high hopes then that might be it?
Well,
you think it's
it just
too early?
indicate that it could probably happen next time.
Yeah, absolutely.
Or maybe
the time
after,
yeah.
because I think like Romano is just trying everybody out.
Yeah.
So he didn't went that hard.
Yeah.
So everybody's sneaking, a little bit, testing everybody.
So do you know? You must know Johan Vejdel, second guy in the team. I've never heard of him before, which is my ignorance, but he's doing a good job here today.
Yeah, he's been. He came last year and said, "Hey, will you look after me, and I can train with the guys?" And he was very first time. I wasn't sure if would let him in, but he's very keen to try and do and listen and do everything. So and he made a great improvement in 1 year. Great improvement. So and he's very, very glad to paddle with the 2 other guys I'm training.
So we've got an added bit of pressure now. They put the camera on us tour, which is always a bit stressful, right?
Now I'm nervous.
So
I wasn't nervous before.
Here they come for the Portage. We'll keep with the paddlers until after that. Romalo leads. Foley on the far side with Alonso. Alonso wants to come left, and there's going to be, it's quite tight coming left, because it was Vejdel who wanted to go right at the same time. Romalo looking super cool at the front. Burkitt running well. Alonso tidy. Pedersen not the best on that one. He's just got a bit caught.
I think he's going in for a drink.
Okay.
That's what he told me.
Yep.
So he's just taking it easy.
You hope.
I hope. Yeah. I hope everything. But he didn't do it. He didn't do it.
Yeah, he did go through the drinks. Yeah, he did. So it's Vejdel at the back of the group. Foley takes it this time. Again, it's Romalo and Alonso in there. This time Burkitt closer to the front. Pedersen just behind. It's a nice, tidy group again. Just behind Pedersen is Lovemore. Then Garakachea in the blue. Foley not doing the damage we saw last time, but damage nonetheless. Everyone's having to work. Vergorven of Argentina. Panacook of Belgium. And Faria of Portugal. All come out together. So Pedersen comes round the outside of Burkitt. Genies of France, Kippin of Australia. I think he was hoping to be a bit more in contact with the leaders than he is at the moment. Was looking really strong in training. James Russell, a misfortune on the last Portage, back with Paufla, and from Czech Republic, Pavlik. So taking us back to the front of the race, and it's still Foley. Foley raced yesterday in the under-23s. Did you see him?
Yeah.
Because he's training out here. Does he train with you guys?
No, he's not. He's training in Silkeborg.
Okay.
With those guys. And he did a very good job, I must say.
Yeah, yesterday was really well managed.
Very clever. And
Alonso, he's the one being clever today. Slovakia there, Milan Dorna. I missed that. What happened? Everyone in here's laughing except me.
Somebody handing over drinks in the seconding shoot just went head over feet.
Ah, maybe we can get a quick replay of that because I feel like I've missed out on a laugh here. Jokos there, just trying to stay in contact with those other two. So that run through the drinks lane, I missed all the excitement. That was the Slovakian and his crew. I was looking up names at the time. Feel I've really missed out.
Tor Nielsen, our special guest at the commentary point. The fact that you're hosting it in Denmark and there's so much interest and public support, how have the athletes responded?
Here comes the replay. Boom, straight down.
At first, they, a little bit suspicious if could this work here, because we've never been in this part of the country, and we had the Danish Championships last year. It was a good arrangement, and little uncertain if they could lift it all. But I must say, they have done an incredible job here, incredible, and they had, I heard, about 200 people from the town and from the city, and to help, and that's amazing job they did, and I love it here, and the surroundings is beautiful as well.
Suddenly we have another world-class marathon venue we can add to the international calendar.
Yeah, I would say so. It's very close to that. So
how have the athletes responded? Do they feel the pressure? Does it, with everybody watching them now, does it create extra pressure for them?
Well, I think sometimes athletes are very funny because, well, they just follow along, where there's the World Championships, where there's a water we can paddle, and then they just fit in. They and try to do their best. But they're very happy to be here.
And Mads in particular, being the person who's on the posters and on all the adverts and the videos, does he like that? Does he respond well to that?
Yeah, well, it's well, I don't know what you mean about respond for.
Does it put more pressure on him, or does he like it?
Oh, he like it. He like everything, and he likes everybody.
Do you think he's a drinker, or
No, I had my suspicions, but he's just very stray guy, He's just happy for doing this, and very happy for what he's doing.
So no real excitement in the front group, just changing positions, fairly routine stuff up there while we've been chatting. No changes, no one left behind. I think the only one who isn't there, that was there before, was Pelly, and he left a while ago. Garakachea goes to the front now, does his share at the front as they head up to the top turn for the 4th time. Well organised group, just one space at the back to that left that isn't massively comfortable. I think that's Cellier. It's either Cellier or Vadel at the back. And away he goes. Burkitt, I think. Burkitt left, Pedersen right. Romalo to the right of Pedersen. It isn't Burkitt, it was Garakachea. This is a little bit intense, isn't it? Somebody upset somebody there, and that's broken the group into 2 very temporarily, but it did break the group into 2. When they go that fast, Tormin, it's not a sustainable speed. It seemed a bit excessive for where they are on the course, but nothing's done for no reason. So what do you think they're testing each other there just to assert a bit of dominance, or what?
Well, it haven't changed since we've been paddling.
No, it hasn't.
No, and everybody's looking at, is he tired? Is he?
Here we go again. It just seems there's unnecessary stuff going on. It's like maybe here we go again. It's Alonso this time. It's like the Argentinians upset someone, but they seem to be picking on him a little bit here.
Yeah.
So Pedersen leads, Romalo on his right, Alonso on his left, tucked in the back, Burkitt. Round the outside there in the blue is Garakachea. Closest to us is Vold. And then the other four just trying to regain contact with the group. Japan running through the portage. That's Masaki Mori. Finished his first 10K. 17 and a half to go. So expect the group to be reformed by the time we come back. So off the back of that group, struggling a bit during that break was Foley, Lovemore, Sellier. Oh, who's off the back on their own? That could be Foley. Did a big catch up. I think it is Foley on his own. A long way back on the group now.
Foley would have come into today's race with warning bells on after his performance yesterday. But at the same time, he also would have come in with the mileage of his achievements. So having signalled what he was capable of doing, but also possibly with a bit of wear and tear.
Here we go again. The churn has begun. The South Africans come in at such a steep angle on this group. There's no need for that, right?
No. But as we said before, it's
nothing's changed.
It's testing all the way, you know. And some try to push it and see what can you do for a real burn, you know.
This is pretty intense at the moment.
This is intense. I can tell in his eyes.
That's this is hardcore right now. Why? That's a personal vendetta.
It is.
Right
It's a
there.
personal thing.
There's nothing but personal in that. There was no purpose race-wise. That was just a statement of I am better than you.
But even when it's personal, you know, it can change things very quickly for the guys in the back.
Yeah, and it has. And
yeah.
Alonso, he's got to make his way back up there.
Yeah. And I think he's always doing a very clever thing. You know.
Alonso's amazing. Just moves around in those waves at the back. He is so efficient at this. It's getting a bit uncomfortable now in that front group because it's so small that you know if you're not in the front four, you're on a wave that isn't ideal. So nobody's going to want to give up their front four wave unless it's for a friend or unless they fancy their chances in the V-wash. Alonso to the right of Romalo. There's a potential that he will want to come round Romalo and get to the side of Pedersen. Vold in the back now, and Hungary with Sellier, who has done a great job.
You see, the burn made a difference.
Yeah.
Now, a little bit.
Garakachea in the background, but I'm not sure what that distance is. The camera makes it look close there. Alonso, he's going to tuck in behind Burkitt. There you go. Much nicer wave for him there. Second Dane, Vadel with Garakachea and Lovemore out to the right. Alonso so sharp at seeing what's available. Who does, I mean, it's hard to pick between those guys, but who does Mads see as his real main competitor? Burkitt, presumably.
Well, he always have the strongest competitors he's aware of is always those who are fast and sprint.
Yeah.
Because, well, it's very strange with Mats because I have seen him sprint very, very good. And sometimes the magic works and sometimes it doesn't, always. But when it gets to him, he goes extremely fast. So
catch up again by Garakachea, and he brings Vadel with him.
I would say Burkitt and Ramalho.
Right.
Would I say?
Yeah.
If it comes to
a sprint finish.
To the sprint finish.
So yesterday we saw Knudsen do, and he left the Portage first. And the way I saw it was he just managed his last 1,000 meters quite badly. He went too fast for too long and then was too easy to overtake.
Pedersen putting the pace on.
Well, we talked about it.
Talk about it after the Portage.
Yeah.
Here we go, Pedersen. This could be a meaningful break. Romalo knows that if Pedersen gets away, it's going to hurt. And Alonso isn't there in that shot at the moment.
Romalo left, Pedersen right. Burkitt going right.
There's the bow of Alonso's boat. And this is going to be tough for the guys because this is meaningful. This could be a significant break.
Pedersen to the baying of his adoring fans as he comes through the Portage zone, suddenly putting himself well clear of the front bunch. Romalo behind him in the yellow cap.
Alonso way back. It's only Romalo that's going to get in with Pedersen.
Great put in from Pedersen.
And he's going.
He's taking off, Eivind.
Burkitt and Romalo the chase two. Alonso's upside down in the water. Tragic for him. When you see how good these guys are at this in practice, you can tell how much stress there is when they make a mistake like that. You do not see Alonso make a mistake like that ever.
He is kicking himself. Great replay.
So there's the gap, and it's big. He's going to make this stick, right? That's big enough.
Well, I can say if we get a little bit more than that.
That is a big gap. The chase two are solid though. You've got Romalo and Burkitt. That's a frightening pair to stay ahead of.
Because if the gap is getting a little bit bigger to Mats, then they will be very hard to get up.
Yep.
Up there because even if they
share washes
and switch, but because he got an extremely pace, I can tell. If he's free and he goes. It's be very hard. It's going to be very hard to catch up.
It's a long way to go though.
Yeah.
But the guys behind him need to believe they can catch him up. If they don't believe, then it's going to fizzle out very quickly.
Yeah.
That's a big gap.
Yeah.
That's what, 15 seconds there. We've got a black boat coming up to join. Let's see Alonso in the replay. Let's see what went wrong. There he is, back with Garakachea and Lovemore. So here goes Pedersen. He got out first. He got out cleanly, and he's away cleanly. That is a big gap there. All the others in well. There goes Alonso. Hits the landing stage. There, boom, in he goes. So it was Vold that hit the landing stage, and that just pushed Alonso out into the deeper water, and it's all over for Alonso, which is a shame because he attacked this race so well. Have you seen him be that aggressive after the first Portage?
Oh yeah, I have seen it before. But
long time ago.
Yeah, but I can see the gap is getting a little bit smaller.
Yeah.
So, and now it's up to Mats to find the speed, and hope for that they will break
Yeah.
when they switch.
Jokos getting in with the Slovakian. They're a good 500 meters down on that. So Vold joins the chase 3. Romalo doing the work at the moment. It's decision time for those 3. They can either choose to stay in the race for gold or they start racing for silver, in which time that gap will open up dramatically.
So we're on lap 5 of 8 at this stage, just past the 1 hour mark of the K1 Men's Seniors race. And it's the hometown.
Oh,
of
no.
Pedersen. Oh.
No, the chase group isn't taking itself seriously there, it looked.
This is absolutely not
was
the
that-
way to do it.
No. Although there's intent now. I think that was he changing his paddle length to go
He might have been changing his paddle length
faffing about?
or fiddling with his drinking system. One of the two.
Kind of crazy. You lost, what, 2-3 seconds there? That's visible when you're chasing, and it's, I don't know, it just seemed,
The other two
is it
just
worth
sat
it? But
watching
he's certainly paddling with intent now.
And
It'd be interesting to talk to him after, see what he was doing there.
yeah. And when Matt is doing the turn, right after the turn, he will speed up, because when they come around the turn, they can see if the gap is getting bigger. Oh, fuck.
Yeah.
That's what he was going to do.
Excuse the language from Tor. He's an amateur in this.
Yeah, and I like it.
That gap is growing. And there's another change in the chase group, and I don't know. It just doesn't look well organised enough. That's Romalo again now, I think.
Well, how many kilometers left now, would you say?
I don't know, we're on lap 5 of 8. We've got to be about halfway through, so about 13, 14.
Okay.
It's a long way to go on your own.
It is.
Yeah, we've just seen Kisley do it, though.
Correct.
And that gap's getting bigger.
It is.
Does Mads train in a group, or does he do a lot of work on his own?
He trained in the group with Philip and Johan, and I'm coaching
Yeah.
all 3. And we've been to a training camp in Sabaudia in Italy this year, and
Why did you choose that as a venue?
because this setup this year we have done more like 1,000-meter works
Yeah.
for change, and for change for mats also. And of course he has some thoughts about that, because he would like to go to Olympics for 1,000.
Okay.
So he will give it a go, and if not next year he will.
So did Denmark qualify a place?
No, they haven't, but they have a microscopic chance
Chance next
to
year.
for.
What is it? One more place from Europe, or 2?
I think 2.
2.
Yeah.
Here comes the man, Pedersen. That's the third group back there, being led by Alonso. And that third group looks more busy than the second.
But we train a lot of sessions with
Jeez, that's opened up a lot now.
That is huge.
That second group has a lot more chance of being caught by the third group than it does of getting back to Pedersen.
I mean, it's actually astounding that a chasing group of that caliber is not able to close Mads down charging.
It is incredible.
Heavyweight chasing group.
Yeah, it is. I mean, in any other world, that chasing group would be quite intimidating. But I think it, in as much as anything, it's a mental thing. Mads has done it a couple of times before, hasn't he, where he's pulled away. And I think they know that if they personally close that gap, they're going to be in such a bad state that they run the risk of not getting anything, especially if they fail to close it. So I think the closing is only done at sort of 95%, not 100%. And to catch Mads, you have to be 100%. I think they're half their mind is on second and third, and half is on catching him up. And I don't think it's a full commitment.
But we have trained a lot of that thing where we have some, we give handicaps where and he can go 18 kilometers faster than I did.
Right.
We have a special course for doing this, and he's just doing a certain speed, and if he gets the speed, it will be very hard.
Yeah.
If he goes like that, I would say about 14.5 kilometers an hour now, and in the beginning it was maybe 15, 16 kilometers an hour, but after a while he settles down.
But that's full on, isn't it? You
Yeah.
can see his face. You can see.
But he can go for 18 kilometers.
Right.
That's his speed graph on
I can't believe he's looking over quite as much as he is.
No. But Mads, he just want to do it.
Yeah.
I can tell. It's.
That's an incredible pace. Knowing that he's still got 13k to go.
Yeah.
But that's the chase group, and there's just not the intensity, is there?
There's no.
There's no motivation
and
there.
no will.
No.
No.
Japan come into their Portage with Mori. Quick empty out, shoulder it.
appreciative crowd giving Maury lots of cheer and encouragement as he comes through the Portage.
I think Maury is going to be swallowed up by Pedersen fairly quickly. Pedersen just 500 meters from us now.
Says something about the nature of this race. If you get lapped on lap 5 or 6, it speaks volumes, I'm afraid.
He is going to get lapped on
Pedersen.
this next lap, I think. It's going to be very tight for him.
Back to the front and Mads Pedersen.
The gap is huge now.
Yeah. You're looking at about 40 seconds, 50 seconds probably there.
See, 15 kilometers an hour.
So he's done 15k. He's got 11 and a bit to go. And that is some gap.
Is there a special training regime at all? To get up to a high speed is one thing, to get up to sprint speed, to maintain a speed of 14, 15 an hour for a long period of time, does that require a special training?
Well,
Yeah,
it's
hard.
It's hard, yeah, but you know, it's not very scientific way we do it. You just go on the limit and see how long time you can last and stay there. It's very easy, you know, actually.
Do you set a time limit? Let's go hard for 15 minutes.
Yeah, I said you
Can
go.
you do it for an hour?
No, you go for 18 kilometers, 14 and a half kilometers an hour. It's on the limit, you know.
Yep. So you don't monitor that limit with heart rates and stuff. You just say this is the speed. Let's do it. See how long you can last.
Yeah, but there's always some corrections for Mads, you know. Because sometimes when he gets carried away, you can see his rating is getting up,
and he becomes inefficient.
Yeah.
Yep.
But when it gets efficient, so then it's very, very high.
Yeah. Does he have a bulkhead in the back of his boat there?
He got it's a custom made. You know, it's actually would say that the new boat from Nilo is a brilliant idea.
Yeah.
It's a brilliant idea, and I tested it yesterday and the day before yesterday, and it's amazing because and I call the boat K5 because it's good for 5 kilometers when you had the water just run out.
Yeah. Yeah.
And Mads have done that in that.
He did the 5K in that boat. In the new boat,
No. This is a custom-made boat. It's just a single.
Yep.
Made with Scott.
With the bulkheads.
Yeah. So
you don't worry that if there's a small hole somewhere.
Yes, we were very worried, and on the sprint boat there was a small hole in the beginning. And for the World Championships, but we got it fixed the day before, and they did an amazing job, Nilo.
Wow,
really good.
I mean, Burkitt looking over his shoulder. What are you looking over your shoulder for at this point? Alonso still with this group with Lovemore, Sellier and Garakachea. And the other Dane, I'm super impressed by this guy.
Look how big he is.
Yeah, he's not. Well, I wasn't going to say it because I'm a professional again, and I can't really say it. But Vedor, he is a couple of pound over his fighting weight, put it that way, and he's doing a great job.
And he's been bigger than that. And I told him the first time we have to train that. The first thing we had to do by training is you lose some weight.
Right.
And when he lost weight, he got so much better.
Wow.
And he's very good at sprints, you know. He's very good at so he's more like solid.
Yeah, he was very fast off the start here.
Yeah. He's more solid guy.
Yeah.
And I can tell you if
Faria, Prada, Panakuk all leaving together.
If the waves are like that, he can sit in everything.
Wow.
He is amazing. He is amazing.
Kippin, Ginies and Paufler. I don't think any of those three are having the day they hoped they would have. Pelly coming in. He's also lost motivation now. He's falling back through the pack. He was with that front group in the early stages, but always on the outside of it. And that adds up over time, and now he's struggling on his own, being hunted down by the group you can see behind him, Australia, France and Germany. Kippin in and away, Paufler and Ginies.
Just not coming together on the day for Paufler. He's not looking comfortable.
The trouble with Paufler is you never know which one it is. There's three of them, and I'm always unsure about which one is which and where they are, and you never know what sort of form any of them are in, and sometimes they really shine. James Russell coming through the Portage.
Drinking bag being dropped on the Portage pontoon.
He's got his rudder knocked up, maybe from his original incident, just bending that rudder down. Back up and running.
I've seen that
Or
before.
not back up and running. What, the rudder bending thing? It's a long time ago, man.
Yeah.
That's a long time ago.
Yeah.
Hopefully James Russell will have a trouble-free second half. Pedersen, Vold, oh, they're just best lap times. But a lap time, I mean, look at that, 40 seconds quicker than anyone else's lap time. That's a lot, over 3K or 3.5K.
Yeah.
40 seconds over 3.5K, that's immense.
Dan Cox of Belgium on the screen there.
It looked a little bumpy there. Isn't that a...
I think the wind's just come up again. It went down a little way,
Yeah.
and now the wind's come back up. Don Cox, the second of the Belgians. Panakouk already gone through. So I mean, monitoring, you're talking about monitoring speed. That's quite hard to do because conditions obviously change day to day, and you just sort of average it out over your 18K time trial, or?
Well, he's about he beat my best time, and I tell you, many have tried to beat it, and he beat it with I think 45 seconds.
That's heavy duty.
Yeah. But that's I said to Matt, well, I'm trying to get you better than I ever did, because then it can't go wrong.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that's my purpose with training Matt. So
He's obviously a willing trainer. He wants to train. He likes training.
yeah. We have some
I mean,
weeks.
just for everyone else out there who looks at this and thinks that's superhuman and
Yeah.
they can't do it, does he have days where he turns up and just says, you know what, I really can't be bothered to?
No, but
No.
I have a funny story about that, because some weeks ago we had it was in July, we had a race from my club. It's around an island, 4 laps, and he had been doing this race many times. And suddenly I see him on the other side, and he had to go into the boys, with the Finnish boys. He had to go around them, but he just went away and was trying to get just straight. And he was not thinking, And we sent a boat out and got him in, And after that, I said to him, well, for that, I'm going to punish you. Because and what are you gonna do? Well, you must not train.
Oh, okay.
Well, it's just a joke,
Yeah,
but it's how he is,
Yeah.
Oh, can I train?
So
That's
he's always willing to train.
always.
Never misses a session,
No, never.
even on his nan's birthday.
No. No.
I think there's something people could learn who are out there thinking they're good and trying to be good, is that if you want to do it, one thing is you have to do it with intent, and 2, you have to do it consistently.
Yeah.
You can't just dip in and dip out and think that you're good, because one day you meet this man on the race and there's nothing you can do. Japan is just about to find out that after 6 laps of 8, he's just been lapped. And that's a harsh reality.
Yeah.
Yeah, the reality is, in that club in Japan, his club mates think this guy's really fast.
Yeah.
And he is really fast in comparison. But then you need your dose of reality every now and then. And everyone who's the best at their club thinks they're good until they meet someone who's the best at another club. And then when you get to be the best in all the clubs, you meet the best in the other countries, and then it just gets harder and harder.
This is Sam Newlands. Sam Newlands coming through, the ophthalmologist by trade, living in the UK, working there, but originally from the Bay of Plenty in New Zealand. taking the all black motif to the extreme. Absolutely everything is black.
Masaki Mori knows
Lap.
that he hasn't got to do the full 27k.
The Japanese guy, he looks like me when we train together.
just falling back gradually.
We have a race every Tuesday,
Yeah.
and handicaps,
Yeah.
and sometimes when Matt he gets me, it goes like,
Straight past.
yeah.
Nothing you can do.
I try a little bit, and if I can wash right for 20 meters, that will be good.
Yeah. But then there's a huge recovery period after that doesn't feel good.
No,
right?
no. But I'm happy about that.
I've tried training in the last 8. The improvements there.
Well, the improvement format is what we are training constantly on. It's his way to sprint, and that would be the
Yeah.
because he can do 1,000 meter. He was in the selection race this year and he did 3:30 on 1,000,
Which is quite
which
good.
is quite good.
Yeah.
Well, it's not in the top, but it's still there, and it's unbelievable that he can do it. So that's why I think if we could get a little bit more muscle on him, that's a difficult part for Matt.
Okay.
That's then he can do better. But he sometimes opened the race the Tuesday on 3:39 for 5K.
Right.
And just blow it away.
Yeah.
So. And now he has settled.
Yeah, he's happy.
Yeah,
he's happy
he has settled.
Yeah.
And maybe we'll have a little cheer.
Yeah. I think we will on this run through. I think we'll have a little paddle lift. There you go.
But 2 weeks before the World's sprint, he was sick. Well, I was a little bit worried because he lost a lot of weight.
Oh, wow.
So, but I just had to ground him and see how it went. But then he recovered very good.
Good. So in the sprinting, he's got, the guy who's done your 1,000 meters for as long as we can all remember now is Rene.
Yeah.
And then now you've got Torben Brass coming up.
Yeah.
Trying for the 1,000 meters as well. He won the under 23s this year.
Yeah, and he's also a very incredible paddler.
Yeah.
And,
he had a bad day today, or a tough day today. Is he not well, or?
Yeah, well, I don't think he felt that well.
Right.
Because we actually talked about put them together in a K2.
Right.
But
maybe not.
No.
Yeah.
I also think he's very happy with the win for the under.
The under 23.
Yeah.
5K.
And you know how it is if you win something big, comes a whole a decline. So.
Yeah. So the fight for silver, bronze, and 2 nothings goes on in this group. Burkett away with intent. Japan in with a chance of a V-wash here. You'd go for it, wouldn't you?
Well,
come on.
It looks very heavy for Burkett.
Yeah.
I don't think he'll make it.
Strange choice of where to come up the group for Vold there.
Yeah.
Coming up on the wrong side.
Yeah.
That's kind of... Why would you do that? Now he's changed his mind. After he got there, he changed his mind and comes back. Lovemore.
Leading the bunch as they come through the Portage.
Alonso, Sellier, all going to get a bit tight there. It's hard to see how Alonso does those portages so well. Made that mistake that cost him a lot. Garakachea with them and the Dane Vadel. Spain 2 coming through. That's Prada. Panakuk behind him. Vergorven with him also in the yellow boat. And Faria of Portugal. They'll all be together in the next minute or so.
So having just seen the big guns go through the Portage, crowd loving the fact that this is turning into the Mads Pedersen show. And Eivind, we're sizing up 2 carbon copy performances to take gold. 2 staggering
It is
solo
freakishly
carbon
similar
copy
to the women's race.
Eerily
Yeah.
similar. Mads the speed chart momentarily on.
So there's somebody who's going to have their race shortened for them any minute now. Do you reckon they're grateful, Tor, when he comes past? They think, oh, that's one less lap.
Yeah, well, it's I'm not really nervous, but and about that, and I'm not really nervous about his performance ever, but because I just trying to give him some sort of find out who am I as a paddler. He's not me,
Yep.
He's and just give it. Try to get some experience about that.
Oh, we nearly lost another supporter there. It's all action in the support lane. Frenchman did well to stay on his feet there.
That was nearly a faceplant.
That's someone there who will never make the French football team because he should have gone down. He should be rolling by now. He's never.
Diving is not tolerated in this sport.
Jokos with the Slovakian. Dorna. Paufler, Genies. It all looks a bit bleak down this end of the field at the moment.
Yeah, this is a day that's going to go into file 13. Races to be forgotten, I think.
James Russell coming round. He's had rudder problems. He had an incident at the Portage with Pavlik there. They're coming in together. Not the day they hoped for.
Easy out, and the morale boost of the support of the crowd as they come through the finisher.
Not running through the support lane this time, so we assume his rudder's okay now.
In retrospect, that was a remarkable repair. In the heat of the moment, if you've got rudder admin and it requires the physical strength to bend that pin straight, and you just never know if you've underdone it, overdone it, overcooked it.
Oh, I mean, your big fear when you bend a rudder down is that it comes off in your hand. That's the worst thing. You just think, please don't break.
Yeah.
They're away. Pavlik away. Round the top turn on his own.
For the first time, as he came through that last Portage, Mads dropped his focus and allowed himself the pleasure of just waving to the crowd. And for the first time, having raced this race and dominated it for 6 laps, he was able to connect with the people that have been supporting him.
Yeah.
He obviously feeds off that and makes him, inspires him.
Well, he loves the crowd, and he loves everyone, you know, like, and he loves to compete, and he has so much, you know, what you call it, over.
Joie de vivre in French.
Yeah. So.
I think it's the difference. Like on the previous 2 laps, he was in an area where the intensity has a pain level that you can't lose focus and keep. Now he's dropped down to an intensity where you can dip in and dip out of pain as and when you choose. And I think he's much more relaxed, isn't he, now than he was on those 2 solid laps where he was like everything has to be focused.
But he said he wanted to try in a third Portage, just not to break away, but he will try to test them there. But then he got the opportunity, and then he just made his decision. And I always tell him, if you make a decision, you just stick to it.
Yeah.
If you want,
that's what these guys didn't do.
Yeah.
They change their mind too often. Catch him, not catch him. Shall we, shan't we? And by the time they'd made that decision, he was gone.
Yeah.
So who are we catching up now? Canada. I think we're looking at Jacob Chain there.
Jacob Chain, who for a moment is going to bask in the limelight alongside the fastest man in the world in marathon racing at least.
He looks cheerful enough in his picture, but slightly different in reality at the moment.
There will be 30 seconds in your paddling career when you had a grandstand seat to watch Mads Pedersen at his very best. It's a privilege.
At his very best tour, or how much more do you think you can do?
Oh, he can do harder than that.
Yep.
You saw last year he made a mistake in the Portage.
Yeah.
And he had to catch up. And he was very comfortable until that. When he said, when I had to catch up, that was so hard for me to control anything. So he just did his. So he can't do the speed, you know. So, but
But you think you can raise his average speed even higher next year? Another, I don't know,
depends
half a K an hour?
Depends on the weather. I would say if it's warmer in the weather, he can do it. But now it's a little bit cold, and the muscles get a little more stiff after that, and your hands hurt a little bit, you know. But now he's satisfied with that speed. So, but he could do harder than that now.
Yeah.
I'm absolutely sure.
Sam Newlands of Team New Zealand.
I think he's the next target, isn't he? Sam Newlands for Mads.
Yeah.
I think he's the next one. He's got quite a big lead at the moment. And only one big lap to go for Mads when he gets back to us this time.
Keeping an eye behind him to see when he becomes the hunted. Meantime, he's going to get a
Fairly amateur.
that's fast food.
Go and interview him, Stefan. Interview him now. Well, he's got a face full.
Face full of jelly beans.
That's a... Oh, dear. Sometimes when you see that stuff, Tor, and we saw the Japanese yesterday, you've seen a few, and you just think, you know, they must watch other people and what they do. And yeah, who takes a mouthful of food? And now's not the time, is it, really?
No.
You'd think...
But as you said before... Oh, sorry.
Burkett going to the front as
As we've said throughout the last half an hour, there's been no desire, no urgency in that group. They're just coasting through the final quarter of this race. This is lap 7 of 8, and there's the man at the front who has driven a wedge between himself and the rest of the field, and is making a strident statement not only to the canoeing world but to the Danish fans that have been itching to see him perform at home. He is delivering a performance par excellence.
So also in that second group, you've got Romalo, who's would be one of the bigger chasers, but he's got K2 tomorrow, and that's potentially his bigger chance of a win.
Mm-hmm.
So that's probably factors into whether he was chasing today.
Sure.
So Pedersen looking quite relaxed now compared to how he was a couple of laps ago. This looks very sustainable, and he's coming on to his 8th lap. It's going to be touch and go whether he catches Newlands in time to shorten Newlands' race.
Round the bottom turn cans comes Mats Pedersen. One more full lap to go after this, and then when he can start sizing up as his victory procession into the finish here at Lake Hills. See if he'll afford himself the luxury of dropping his guard to connect with his fans. All focus as he comes into the jetty takeout. Neatly done.
He's already, and he hasn't even left the pontoon and he's waving.
Like a Cheshire cat. And why not? He's earned the luxury to start savouring this. He's looking around, looks up to the grandstand. There's no fist bump, but the Danish flags are out. Must be
Little look over his shoulder there to see where the others are. Where are the others?
We had to look to the side instead.
Yeah.
They're going around the bottom turn can.
No, they're not.
No, they're not. They are
They're still opposite.
still 250 meters away from the bottom turn can. And they are just loping through the kilometers. Romalio at the front.
So we're losing Tor, who's got somewhere better to be. That tells you what he thinks of us. It's been great. It's been great to have you, Tor. Thanks for your time and your insight, and it's always a pleasure.
Thank you. It's been a pleasure. Thank you.
So we've lost our expert, and you're back to the clowns for the close of this race. Romalo leads from Burkitt.
What a treat and what a time to have the man in the hot seat with us. So
Vold.
Romalio, Vold, Burkitt. This is going to be silver and bronze. Burkitt is defending champ, would settle for silver, I think, at this stage.
I don't think he's got a lot of choice. He's not going to push for gold for now.
No, gold is done, and we knew that from an hour ago. I think they had written off that gold. They had already visualized the medal ceremony and the headlines that are going to be in the Danish papers tomorrow morning and online.
Is Burkitt racing K2 on Sunday?
No, he's not.
But Vold will be and Romalo will be, and that might have factored in quite heavily into how hard they chased today.
Burkitt pushes on,
Oh,
takes out a little bit
Romalo's
further.
forgotten his boat.
Vold putting a little bit of a
He
burn
is.
here. He'd like to try and get onto the grass first, but he's
Not
up.
many people overtake Romalo on a run, but he has.
Oh, Burkitt is hard to beat on the run. It's bread and butter for him, this. Quickly down to the put-in, beautifully in. Vold's good to go as well. All three quickly and efficiently away. Burkitt looks over his right shoulder just to make sure that everybody's back with him. Getting into the sharp end of the race. One full lap. You happy to sit with the 3 until the final turn, or do you try and shrug them off before the final portage?
No, you can't break that group up. They're all too good at what they do. Chase group coming in. for Gorvan. For Gorvan has caught up to Garakachea and that group. This is Panacook, probably the best race I've seen from him in a long, long time.
Oh, look at the grimace.
Grimace on him. But Alonso, Lovemore,
Last year's under-23 champ. Getting a taste of what it's like to bark with the big dogs.
Panacook, of course, already the over 35s Masters champion this week.
Oh, he's
That was
punching above
obviously
his weight here.
just a warm-up for this one. Vergorven goes.
There is a luckless duck sitting on the beach right at the put-in. It's about to get the fright of its life.
This man needs a bit of an applause because he has been awesome through the day. He's fading now, but Johan Vedel did himself proud.
It's a large torso to get into that boat with an athletic jump like that. And as Tor was saying, that is a big block of muscle capable of powering a boat at high speed.
Kippin and Pelly. Pelly really is done. He's had enough of today. One long lap is going to seem like an awful long way for him.
Masaki Mori. Yeah. Lapping up the occasion.
Deliberate use of the word lapping there, Dave? Or
No, I didn't mean to
wasn't
throw
any
the,
irony in that?
I
no?
didn't mean to throw the barb. I realized once the barb had been thrown that it was inappropriate.
Powerfleur, Genius. Pelly's just going to be overtaken by pretty much everybody now, I think. He's lost the will to live. Jokos there from Japan also.
Milan Dorna. Powerfleur.
Also losing the will.
Yeah, he's
Back to the second group here, and they're all back together.
Burkett on the left, Romaglio on the right, Vold pulling at the front. Circle back to the question I asked earlier. All three content to just while away the miles on this final lap?
Yep. Yeah, their
Maybe
race starts at the next Portage.
Take a chance, try and wheedle some sort of advantage out of the final Portage, and then make it stick.
You have to favour Burkett, really, on that final Portage. Romalo, no, they can all run, can't they? Romalo's a good runner, and we just saw Vold overtake him, so he's a good runner too. There's everything to play for in that group.
If you want to shade Andy, you need to get out well before him on the Portage. If you even get out side by side with Burkett on one and you on the other, you are going to get done. He'll be in the lead before you get onto the grass, and he canters away when he's into the straight. His put-in is really good. He's one of those guys that literally hurls that boat out onto the water, puts in a foot as it's running away from him, and it just seamlessly carries on moving as he puts his butt into the seat. So if you want to extract any advantage over Andy, you've got to do something special either on the run into the Portage or make sure you take out 2 seconds before he does. That's going to require burning some serious matches coming down to the turn cans.
So Pedersen's seen that top turn for the last time.
I'm sorry we didn't have the camera on you, Eivind, because you looked inconsolable as you put your hand
Just
into
the
the packet
last-
and found the last little chocolate egg.
The last chocolate egg, but on the last lap of the day. So
It's
I figure it's okay.
Is it your pacing and experience that's got the egg
Yeah.
to the last lap?
There goes Burkett. Vold to his right. There is motivation in this group already. On the far side of the course, you saw the winner. James Russell still moving well. Pavlik just trying to stay with him. He's having a bit of a chew on something there. Maybe that's a chocolate egg.
Oh, it's right about supper time.
Here's your winner.
We can
Well,
cheekily...
two superb displays of awesome paddling really this afternoon. First Kisley, now Pedersen. Just amazing.
And almost carbon copies.
Yeah.
Hot off the line, absolutely insistent on dominating the front of the pack on the first lap or two. Both of them were scarcely willing to concede to sitting on a side wave, hardly slipped back onto the diamond, but for the majority of their time in the bunch, insisted on being at the front and doing all the dirty work. And when the time came to pull the trigger, untouchable.
Yeah.
Untouchable and almost at the
100%.
same place. The second half of the race was a solo charge away. It just yells conditioning of great champion athletes.
Burkett, there's a lot of intent in that group now. So not content to just sail round. Damage being done.
Of the three, who's got the most to prove here? And he's done it. He's a world champion. He's a world games champion. Vold?
I don't think Vold's won a world medal in singles before.
A silver here would be a serious CV entry for Eivind Vold.
Yeah.
Particularly against this sort of company here, which is familiar with getting onto the steps of the podium.
Romalo's missed medals in the past so many times. It took him a long time to get his first medal and his first win, and so I've always liked the way he races. I like him as a person. Yeah, he's a great guy, great attitude to it all. So he's always got kind of, with my heart, I always want him to get a medal. In this company, over the last 100 meters, they're all fast.
Yeah.
There's no weak link in there.
And if you believe in fairy tales, in the Pedersen Burkett generation, he's been bridesmaid to them often. So if you're writing the fairy tale, if he could pull one over these two, it would be pretty special.
The Portage is going to be hugely significant in how this race pans out now.
One of the most fascinating things that came out of your chat with Thor Nielsen, this passion that Mads has to be a successful sprint paddler and to go to the Olympic Games and make your mark there. You've got to kind of manage a career if you're going to do that. It doesn't happen overnight.
No.
You've got the talent, you might have the raw
Yeah.
speed, but to get there, you've now got to take a marked turn in your career and commit to a whole bunch of different series and commitments. That's not going to happen instantaneously, but you need to get to a stage in your marathon career, I think, where you're going to say, right, I'm going to shift the priorities, put some stuff on ice, and your Olympic qualification cycle is so clearly set.
Yeah.
It's quite easy to put a time frame on those plans. Probably too late to try and get to Paris, I don't know.
No, like Tor was saying, there's two small slots available at the end next season. So in the continental qualifiers, there'll be two places from Europe still available to go. So they'll have a competition. I'm not sure where it is. That he will know already, obviously. And top two go. So that could be the target through the winter.
Big commitment with high risk. Because
I don't think there's any risk, really. Training's training, and he'll still be fit, he'll still be strong. And if he wants to revert to this, he's got a fair old cushion to play with anyway, and he'll still be up the sharp end of this. I think someone like him, this is what his physiology is born to do, and he's got to tweak his physiology a little bit.
In many ways, it's always saying
upgrade.
he has to do something. He has to train with a goal in mind. It's been a manic season. It's been so cluttered. These guys have been so busy, overcommitted, some will say. But now, other side of Marathon Worlds, poof, it's suddenly gone quiet. So maybe it's handy to set a long shot Hail Mary go at Paris.
I think his mum made his number board on his back. It's all handwritten and...
Is it looking a bit sort of...
a bit amateur.
Kitchen table special?
It is. Look at that. He's written that himself, surely. So this is it. Final portage. We'll have more than one paddle lift on this one, I'm sure. He's had a look back over his shoulder. He might even stop. All right, let's put money on it. A stop in the middle of the portage.
Take a bow.
Take a bow and move on.
Punch the... okay. Well, the crowd... is already worked up to a froth here. I mean, the local team here has done a fantastic job of whipping this Danish crowd up into a frenzy. Mads Pedersen comes up to the right of the portage. It's his final one. This is the chasing group, which is a long way back. And there's Mads getting rid of his drinking system. And the final countdown rings out, as is wont here. He comes in. The beam is all over his dial. This is your champion in waiting.
Surely he has to stop. Stop and bow.
He'll dignify this occasion with a masterful athletic performance. He's lapping this up. So 500 meters up, 500 meters down, and Mats will claim what has always been in the script, according to the organizers, that Mats Pedersen is going to win at home in Denmark in front of his fans.
That chase group is in imminent danger of being caught by the group behind. It's going to be quite crowded on the last portage. I know we're watching Mads go up to the top and back, and that's great fun, but there's changes happening here. These three are being caught by the group behind, which is only about 30, 40 meters behind now. Camera panning back now, and boom, there they are. That's Alonso. A mistake here could be costly.
I think Ramalho got a sniff at that, which is why he jumped onto the front and suddenly put his foot down.
They will all know exactly where those people are.
Do you want to close it?
Yeah. Got it.
So,
Game on. Vold looks over his shoulder.
the hunter has become the hunted.
They just had a couple of soft laps, and that was enough to give the chase group a sniff.
Can somebody burgle a medal in the dying moments of this race?
For Gorvin in the yellow boat, just fallen off the back of the chasing chase pack. And Ramalho goes. Speed's gone up a little bit. The gap's going to be too big, I think, to close.
Well, thank goodness Ramalho saw it, because I think he's yelled to the others, this is about to get messy. There's one thing to do.
Vold trying to squeeze through on the inside, probably not too wise.
Remember, this is the arm wrestle for silver and bronze. It's not just keeping the hyenas off their backs.
I think they're safe from that chase pack. Tantalisingly close, but not close enough. Away goes Burkitt to the right-hand side. Not so much motivation from Ramalho to hold him off.
This is where Burkitt can make a... Oh, Burkitt's fallen down. He's on his knees. Ramalho's got away. All going wrong for Andy
Bit of
Burkitt on the
water in
final
there for
portage.
Burkitt. He's trying to empty it out. He didn't want that as his final portage, that's for sure.
Vold's coming
It's
up on
Ramalho.
his inside. Andy Burkitt,
Andy Burkitt
under
now
pressure.
into his stride. Here comes Burkitt. He's going to run through all of them. Ramalho's going to be taken on both sides.
Coming through.
Oh, it's painful. It's all to do with management here.
Andy Burkitt cannot afford time to
Wow,
get that water
that
out
was
of the
risky.
boat.
They're all going to leave together, though. Vold.
Burkitt's
Burkitt,
pumping the boat.
Ramalho. I think Burkitt's got a lot of water in that
He
boat.
is pumping for dear life to get the water out of that boat. He would love to persuade the others just to chill.
Look at that.
Vold's, I think
There's
Vold's
a lot of water coming out of
Vold's
there.
laughing at him, I think. But it's an opportunity for Vold to get away. Ramalho goes to the inside. Burkett's still pumping furiously
Burkett
to
had
get
a big
water out.
decision there then, because he carried the whole portage with that much in there.
Meanwhile,
Alonso on his own.
down in the center, the moment that's been penciled into the script by the organizers at the Danish Canoe Federation, the fairy tale ending to Saturday afternoon's racing, is Mads Pedersen coming down to claim the senior men's K1 gold. And he hasn't just claimed it, he has stamped his authority all over it. The mark of the champion, the mark of a man in superb form as he comes down to the line. The crowd that is packed into the stands here at Lake Yels is going to rise as one, as Mads Pedersen claims gold medal for Denmark, pumps his fists and paddle into the air. Champion, what a champion.
Proper champion performance. Couldn't have been better today. Absolutely blitzed it. And it'd be great to go back up to that turn if we can. On the seeing the crowd enjoying their moment as well as his moment. And there we go. This is game on. Round the top turn. It's 500 meters to go. Vold has a really good turn of speed, but they all do. And Alonso just hunting
snapping
them down
at their rudders.
bit by bit.
It'll be too little too late for Alonso. It's been
Yeah.
a grave charge back. But this is the three from which we're going to decide silver and bronze. Vold at the front.
So it's, again, we had this sort of situation yesterday. It's somebody will attack, and if the second person has anything left, they can attack straight after, and it leaves both the others vulnerable. So Vold leads.
Burkett biding his time, as is Ramalho on his left.
Alonso coming out at the back for the big waves that roll down the outside.
Vold ups the stroke rate just a
Ramalho
little.
waiting patiently. They both are.
Tick, tock, tick, tock.
Vold.
He's holding the
This will be
cards
a
at this
big
stage.
go by someone when it happens, and then another proper go at the end by whoever hasn't been involved in the first one. Ramalho waits.
If Vold doesn't,
Burkett waits.
to avert the ambush, Vold could go early.
It's
And
about 200 meters now.
Vold looks right at Burkett.
Burkett's going to be the one who goes. There you go. Deep breath. It's going to be 2 or 3 strokes, and away he goes. And
Waiting.
no, it's
Waiting.
Ramalho going.
Ramalho's not really
Or is
making
Vold
much.
just too fast
Vold
for both
is
of
up
them?
in
Here
the
we go.
ante.
Here goes Burkett.
There goes Burkett on the right. Vold sees it. He's trying to match him. Andy Burkett is
Ramalho's
inching
out.
ahead. Burkett inching ahead. Vold throwing
Burkett goes.
everything and the kitchen sink at it. This is so close, but Burkett is ahead.
Now Ramalho has to come back at Vold. There's still time. It's going to be really tight.
Burkett,
But-
silver. Vold, bronze. Ramalho just robbed of a place on the podium.
Oi, oi, oi. I think Ramalho has more fourths than anyone in this sport. And there's another one for him. A great race. Burkett threw on Vold at the death there.
Alonso,
And then,
pat on the back. It was a
yeah.
great fight back on his own without much help.
Alonso Lovemore, Panakuk, man of the match in that group. It's a long time since he's been up with those sort of names. Then Vergorven. Then
Portugal.
Faria of Portugal.
So the Danes got the fairy tale ending they wanted as
Garakachea, who was up with the leaders for so long. He faded back in the end.
both Argentinians inside the top
He's
10.
across the line. It's a tough call. Like, if those Argentinians were my athletes, I'd rate Garakachea's performance above Vergorven's, even though Vergorven finished first. He was with that top group for much longer, had more to say in those early period of the race, and I think that's a an important thing to look for in a race. It's not just the
Celia
result.
and
it's
Prada involved in a sprint for pride to the line. As
not
Prada is going to take
always
it.
the result, but how you get to that result that counts for an awful lot. They were also up in the front group for a long time, these two. Prada seems pretty pleased with his day at the office.
I think he sees the camera lens and the Instagram picture that he's going to be updating tonight. Hugs and congratulations galore from the paddlers that are on the other side of the finish line.
Round the bottom turn, Pavlik and Russell. It's getting quite chilly in here now, and I didn't bring a sweatshirt today.
Rookie error, Lola.
Can't believe it. Whoa. Quite a local favourite coming in, I suspect.
It's lots of Danish
It's Johan
support.
Vedel. He's coming across the line now. It's been a huge day for him. I think he's gained a lot of fans today for what he did in the first half of this race. I don't think anyone except his teammates and his coach thought he would be up there. And he was. It was a great race from him. And that's another case where the way he raced far outstripped the result he got. And hats off to him. That is a big day. Josh Kippen next across the line.
For all his time and commitment, he'll possibly be a little bit down about that, but the Aussie always leaves it all out on the water.
And we have just won Prize of the Century. We've got another bag of mini eggs.
Only one.
Winner
He'll
chicken
keep
dinner.
it all.
Across the line, comes the checks.
She's given me permission to steal your bag of eggs. Unbelievable.
Canada across the line, -1 lap. Jokos from Japan across the line. He had a good day out as well.
Ladies and gentlemen, we present to you the medalists in the men's K1. These medals will be presented by Tom Farshall, the president of the Danish Canoe Federation, and he will be assisted by Carsten Solgaard of Denmark. The bronze medal, representing Norway, Eivind Vold. The silver medal, representing South Africa, Andy Burkett. The gold medal, and the world champion, representing Denmark, Mads Pedersen. Ladies and gentlemen, the national anthem of Denmark.
som vi ikke engang gider snakke om. Shit, man. The second goal in a week.
This is the big one.
Yeah, I know. This is the best.
The
competition.
emotion must be huge.
Yeah. The best competition. I mean, I love marathon.
Lure band gold. It's been a lure.
Congratulations, Mads, Andrew, Eivind. That concludes our medal ceremony. Ladies and gentlemen, once again, thank you, Tuck. We look forward to seeing you tomorrow.